question. I came up with that move while I was out after Nexus. Um, with that, I needed a move. Shell shock is a word. It means battle fatigue, and I was a fan of the Ninja Turtles. And I was when I was out, I was trying to get everything ready for my return to wrestling as Ryback. And I just go. I looked at all the guys that were ever really over, and I just go. And things take time. You don't just have everything. But I just kind of like started. What you did? A lot of wrestlers, and I saw this in developmental, and this is something Stephanie McMahon in a meeting, and when they brought me up to Stanford to come back as Ryback. She goes, I've been following you from developmental, and she goes, we used to have to write papers and write things, and I never thought any of them fucking looked at any of this stuff. And she goes, you've always had a mind for this ahead of things, and like, just she goes from a merchandise standpoint, because nobody was doing merch and different things in developmental at the time, and like I was looking for ideas of like when I was Skip Sheffield, and I had all these things I would submit in on how they could make revenue with things, and but different like just from phrases to the different things that could be marketed, and from just an overall standpoint on the character. And she just goes, you've always just had a great mind for this in the business. And she goes, from your developmental days, and she's like, you've never let anything stop you. Me and Stephanie always got along really, really well with everything. And so when I was out, I just it was doing what I always did. I was just kind of trying to find the identity of what Ryback was going to be with that. And I just go, you got to have a cool name for your finisher, because I always liked all the guys when they had cool finishers when I was a kid and had a cool name. And so I figured out what it was. I didn't tell anybody, and I just waited. And then because a lot of guys don't think about this stuff. Some do, but a lot don't. Or at least didn't back then. And so I'll tell you what happens is when they ask you and you get up there and they go, well, what's your finish? And like, because they're going to give you a push. This has happened. I've seen this with guys. And they go, I don't have a finish. So now they have to come in the ring and try to figure out a finish with you. And it may or may not be good, but it just, the more things that you have that you can do, and you want your finish to be able to do something you could do to pretty much anybody. Like these are things that I learned very early on, and I had good guidance, and I had a good understanding on my own as well with that. But so that was just kind of what that was, and planning that for that return. I envisioned what I wanted Ryback to be, and it ended up being everything that I wanted it to be, because I didn't leave anything up to question. I never said I don't know. I knew when they asked me who and what is this. I knew. I remember when they had a guy, a fucking jabroni, but his job was to ask you who you were as a character. A lot of guys didn't know who their character was with it. And I just remember he was like, who is Ryback? I'm fucking hungry and I always want more. Feed me more. That's who the fuck Ryback. I am a competitive motherfucker. Right then and there's your character. Let's go. I know who I am. And I was able to take who I am and infuse it into a character. But if they ask you and you go, I don't know, how the fuck are they able to market that? They can't with this. You have to know who you are in this business. That's why that's the key to getting over, is knowing who you are and then being able to communicate that to the fucking audience. But you got to be able to communicate it to the people you work with so that they let you communicate it to the audience. And if you can't get that fucking part, you're never going to get over. And you got to have a belief in yourself like no other, because there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers that tell you you're not who you think you are, this and that. And you better believe you are, because you better fucking be able to fight through it. And that's another reason a lot of people can't get over. Super chat here. Let me get to that. The Blazing Kitties, thank you very much, brother. Hi, Ryback. What do you think about what happened to Don Callis on Triple Mania? A fan attacked Callis when he was doing the whole story with Kenny Omega. So I've not seen this. I just heard about this recently. I got to go look for the clip. I would like to see the clip to see what the attack was like. I'd never, if this is all legit and not a work in any way, because I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I'd imagine it's real from what I saw the on Twitter. It looks like it was anyways. There's never, it's just like the Seth Rollins deal. Fans have no business. I'm telling you, this day and age, you're going to ruin your life. You try to attack a performer and jump in the guardrails. It's not worth it. It's not worth it with it. And it is a losing battle every which way on it. And it's unfortunately something that performers have to be on the lookout for. And you know, WWE, when I was there, I know AEW, it looks like they have pretty good security around, but there's always just people, on a given night, all it takes is somebody letting their guard down for a split second, and somebody's waiting the whole show for that one person to just fucking take their eyes or to turn their back for a split second. They've got a quick opening, and it's unfortunately one of those things that it sucks. And I don't condone it, and it is. I'm glad he's all right, and it's just there's no place for it, man. Bring on Shawnee.
Big guy, happy Monday, brother.
Brother, happy Monday. How are you?
Good, man. I started getting into your videos over the weekend. The review videos, they're great. I was laughing my ass off. I didn't know you did reviews and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you for watching. I started those years ago. I was really skeptical at first. The guy that was doing the editing for the thing, he goes, just go do a video and eat the new Chick-fil-A, the chicken sandwich. And I was like insulted. I go, I'm not a fucking loser. I'm not going to go eat a fucking chicken sandwich in my car. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, I didn't understand.
I would have felt that way too. I would have felt the same way.
Yeah, I go, what the fuck am I going to, like, just go, I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world, but I go, wait a second. Like, I realized that I could just talk to myself and, like, whatever's on my mind and kind of find my own style. And they started getting views and like hundreds of thousands and some got millions. And I'm like, oh, this all ties into my branding anyways. Then once I realized what it was and I could just go do my cheat meal every week and then I could tie it into my marketing with Feed Me More Nutrition and then I go, why wasn't I doing this sooner with everything? But it was a mental block for me at first. I go, oh, what a loser I am. Just eating. I go, wait, I eat in my car for years in WWE. Like, all you're doing...
It's the point that he said, like, go eat in your car, right? Like, because, like, if somebody told me that, I'd be like, fuck, what do you mean go fucking eat in my car?
Oh, brother. I thought... I'm not even kidding. That first... So I had to do... It was Chick-fil-A versus Popeye's chicken sandwich, I think was the first one.
Oh, yes.
So...
That was, like, all the rave. I remember that.
Brother, the Popeyes line, I was in line at Popeyes for almost an hour, and I said, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm waiting in line for a fucking hour, and I got to drive across town. There wasn't a Chick-fil-A by me at the time, so I had to drive across town to this fucking Chick-fil-A after. Then I had to record, and I'm going, this is fucking, but I literally was, never forget this. I was in my Challenger, and just fucking sitting, I go, well, this chicken sandwich better be fucking amazing. Like, it's... But here we are, and it was...
So I was going to ask, so that's how it started? That's how you started doing the videos?
Yeah, and then I go, well, I do my cheat meal every week. I'll usually eat just a little junk food once a week, and I go, why wouldn't I just do this? And like, I was at the time still reading and learning about marketing and branding, and even though if that conversation took place a year prior to when it did, I would have just said, fuck off. Like, and then not like just would like, I'm not doing it.
Not in a bad way, just like,
like I don't need to be like, but I didn't understand. I go, no, this is that now that's, and especially this suppression. I don't think people understand like the revenue on YouTube and how like I can do that for the rest of my life. And I built a brand around doing a cheat meal once a week. Like that will forever bring in revenue. And the bigger my following gets, the more that goes. Or it should.
I watched a video on the true revenue on like a YouTuber, like with like not even that many, like it was like a decent amount of subscribers and way less than what you have right now, and they are living fine. You know what I mean? Like every month. Like, it blew my mind. Actually, it absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah, that to me, and I go, but that's where I learned that Gary Vaynerchuk helped me with social media. You have to be able to, when you have a brand, you got to be able to do different things, and you want to create revenue from as many different things as possible. We market on YouTube. I go, so why wouldn't I? My marketing was already on YouTube with this, and so the people that watch my food videos get retargeted with ads on that. I go, oh, that makes perfect sense. People that watch people eat junk food typically want to be in better shape most of the time, unless they're watching it just for the person with that. But there's a lot of